Hi everyone. Today I'm going to review a really old sci-fi movie called 12 Monkeys. It's about time travel and it stars Bruce Willis and Brad Pitt. And it's one of the few science movies that came out in the 80s. Like most science based time travel movies usually come out in the 90s, but like this came in the 80s or so or whatever. And I grew up in the 90s, and like most of the time travel movies that we saw in the 90s were about themes where like if you go to the past, it will change the present, it will change the like entire timeline of events that's going to happen, and so far and so forward. So this is one of the few rare movies, like it goes to Avengers logic, where like any change in the past will not change the present, but it will only create an alternative reality. The it starts when like the people are like in the year like 2030 or like 2040, I don't know, but like the entire like Earth's air is fully contaminated, and it does not have Earth does not have too much living creatures, and like most of the humans live in a subterranean terrain. And the thing is, like the Bruce Willis, he sometimes goes to the surface level and to get like samples, to get like germ samples, etc. But it's one of those like interesting, thought provoking movies where Bruce Willis is sent back in time not to save the present, but also but to change the future of the current present. So the thing is, like they're sending him to the past not to prevent the virus from spreading, because they know that the virus is going to happen somewhere or the other, and the past cannot be changed. So they're telling him to the past to like take samples of the virus, or like to create like a live sample before it mutates, so that he can bring the samples back to the present, so that the future can be saved rather than the present can be saved. So it's a very interesting take on time travel that like many people in the 1980s have not completely like thought about that genre of movies, but like this is like a very interesting genre. And like this beats like the most of the classic dogma that we have of like sending heroes to the past. Like Terminator, we see all the Terminator franchise, it started in the 90s, where like they're going to the past to change to save the present or whatever. But this is like saving the future of the future of the future, rather than the like rather than change the future or whatever. Like so it's like sending people to save the future. Like so in that case, like sending people to the future is kind of like sending people to the past to study the past, so that they can save the future, save the future of the future's present, if that even makes sense. So it's a very interesting topic. So this guy goes into World War I, World War II, like the current like 1980s timeline or whatever, and he goes to find the army of the 12 monkeys. So the army of the 12 monkeys, they're believed to have like spread the virus to the point like the entire like germ mutates, and like the entire world kind of like gets destroyed by the army of the 12 monkeys, because like they think it's there. And when he goes back in time into a mental asylum, he meets Brad Pitt, and Brad Pitt is one of the like mental asylum inmates, where like he becomes the founder of the 12 monkeys. So that goes into an alternate timeline, but like he finds like this one like journalist or like this psychologist female lead who's trying to understand like criminal behavior. And she's trying to understand, she's kind of like a doomer, where like she predicts the end of the world and whatnot. So she attracts fringe types, but like she goes into this mental asylum to talk to Bruce Willis, and he seems convinced that like the world the world is going to end, and the virus will break out in 2009 or whatever. So he he convinces everyone that he is from the future and whatnot. But every once in a while, the people from the future, they bring Bruce Willis like back from the past to their future, so to interrogate him, or like to question him about like things that can happen and whatnot. And one time he comes back, and like with this girl, I forgot what her name is, they travel across America, and his mission is to collect the samples and whatnot. And like little by little, they find the army of the 12 monkeys. And in the end, it's not what it seems. The army of the 12 monkeys or like Brad Pitt, they're just like an animal welfare organization. Their main intention is not to like destroy humanity in order to save the animals. They're just like fleeing zoo creatures and whatnot, like and saving them, so that like their lives are kind of like preserved and whatnot. And it's one person who's working in the lab where Brad Pitt's dad goes, who's actually getting the virus and like spreading the virus. And finally, like Bruce Willis, he tries to shoot the man to kind of like save the like his present, meaning our future, but he gets shot. And like the younger Bruce Willis, he sees this and the cycle continues and whatnot. So in a way, like he tries to save the present, but like he inadvertently like creates the present of the future. But him studying the past helps the people on the future's present save their future by understanding like more about the virus and whatnot. So it's a very interesting time travel movie. I recommend everyone check it out. Thank you.